All right, guys, welcome to the month of March. This is the month of women, International Women's Month, and this year's theme is all about breaking the bias. And at Dr. OJ Speaks, we are going to be breaking all kinds of bias when it comes to women, feminism, the feminist movement, and so many other things. But today's episode is all about, we're talking about the feminist movement, what it means, how far we've come, are we on track, are we actually doing it the right way, are we still going with what the mission and the vision of that is? I don't know, but guess what? I have an amazing guest with me in the studio today who's going to be discussing and unpacking all of these topics with me. But we're also going to be talking about some misconceptions. What are some misconceptions that you have had about feminism? What does it mean? What is it really about? Are some of the things that we do, is it really representative of feminism, or are we just being anti-feminist? I don't know. Anyway, I will answer all those questions, or you will get the answers to those questions as we go through the episode today. Don't forget, if this is your first time at my channel, welcome. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on, and of course, comment and like this video. But the biggest part of all this is share. There's love in sharing, guys. Share this video with your friends and let me know what you guys think. All right, let me not keep going on and on and on because I will be right back. But before I leave you, don't forget, today's episode is sponsored by HD Pro Global, the beauty professors of the world. I don't know what else to call them because they do everything from wellness to body image to education to training to setting up your business. Come on, check them out at hdproglobal.com and then thank me later. But in the meantime, let's get to this episode.
Yeah. Oh no, oh no. She's old, yeah. So many of us got what to say, but we don't have the means, but we can listen, yeah. Things that we sharpen our vision, yeah. Oh yeah. Negativity getting out of the way. By listening to us that we bring life, yeah. Plus it's got the voice of an angel, yeah. Dr. OJ, visionary, extraordinary. That burning like giving joy to the helpless. Oh, yes. With the team bringing life to the dream. That's all we, yeah. Ruby, and Sammy, and she's, oh yeah. Transforming one life at a time. With the best voice that you have. Dr. OJ, keep on speaking for us. You're the voice you want to hear.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the month of March. It's International Women's Month. And like I told you guys, this month I'm going to be having so many conversations with some of my amazing boss lady friends. And today I have with me my beautiful Kenyan sister, Miss Nancy. I call her Nancy the trucker lady. Like, she is like all kinds of bosses, like from trucking to wellness, to all types of businesses that she does. She's a mom, she's a woman, of course, and she's so many wonderful things. But, I mean, I wanted to introduce herself. Oh, Nancy, how are you?
Hi, baby girl, how are you?
It's been such a long time coming. I'm so excited to have you, Dr. OJ Speaks.
I know, right? It's been a long time coming.
You look amazing, girl. So I want you to introduce yourself to our audience before we get into today's juicy conversation.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me in your show. I always wanted to be in your show, so I'm really thrilled by this. I'm excited. My name is Nancy Kim. I go by Nancy Kim on my social media platforms. I am trucker boss, as she said, and I have other things I do on the side, but I will stick to trucker boss today.
Yes, because trucking is her main dish, guys, and she knows all about it. From the business to the education, all the things you need to know to start your trucking business, she is your girl. We're going to drop her handle and her information on this video so you guys can get in contact with her and definitely be able to check her out and see what she can offer. So, Nancy, today we're talking about women, feminism. It's International Women's Month, and this year's theme is breaking the bias. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to break the bias. So, when we talk about feminism and where we've come from to where we are today, what do you think feminism actually means?
That's a good question. Feminism really started all the way from women looking for their rights. Women wanted more rights. Women wanted to have a voice. women wanted to be respected in the society.
Yes.
And having to have equal rights to do the things that men were supposed to do in those days is what led women to start having this women feminism thing, women's right thing going on. So it is a good agenda, according to me, but we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. It definitely is a good agenda. And I think it started out with the right intention. So basically, if the feminist movement was supposed to be a way to just create a safe space for women, equal safe space, just like men have always had it, we just wanted women to have the same thing. But do you think we are still there? Are we still in that place of fighting for the right things, or have we shifted in our priorities when it comes to the feminist movement?
I'll say that there is a right and the wrong things, in the same aspect of women looking for feminism or looking for their rights. There is a right intention in it, and there is some off intentions in it. So we are in the 21st century. Women are doing a lot lately. So I'll say that the feminism has really grown big now, and of course there's gonna be a few here and there.
So does it hinder us from really being able to have it all, as they would say? Being part of this feminist movement, does it hinder a lot of women from having everything that they truly want, but still being able to maintain those demands for equal rights to education, pay, social status, religious engagements, and political, engagements and things like that?
To answer that question, I don't think it hinders us from having it, but I feel like we are still not there where we see ourselves being. We can have it all. This is my own way of saying it, and I feel like, honestly, a feminist is not someone who is masculine. It's just a woman who is looking for a way to be able to be a provider, to be able to be a woman in totality.
Yes.
So being a feminist, it does not take anything away from a woman. It's just a way of standing for yourself and wanting to do the things that you have always wanted to do, not because you're a woman or you're a man. So it doesn't hinder anything. It actually promotes.
Yeah, and honestly, I agree with you. Like, if a female is very big on feminism, it actually makes her more valuable to society, and not just to society, to family, to her network, and everywhere she kind of participates in. So right now we are in the 21st century, and we're in the year 2022.
Yeah.
So would you say feminism has progressed? And would you say we are right on time with the agenda that was set forth when this movement started many years ago?
I think so.
Good.
Why? Think we are in the right way.
Why?
We are getting there, because I see a lot of women coming up with businesses. I see a lot of women coming up with standing up for positions in parliament, in politics.
Yeah.
I see women becoming the to-go for in this society, in this century. I love where we are going, and I cannot wait to have a lot of women thinking the same way. I love where we are going, honestly.
Oh, I love that. So before we go on our break and we kind of round up this part of the conversation, one last question.
Yeah.
When we talk about feminism and women, now not outside of our agenda, just within our gender base, how is that really helping us pull together?
Feminism. Feminism pulling together with men or just women?
Just within the women folk. Yes.
I mean, it's a great opportunity for women to embrace feminism, because we can teach one another on how to grow, on how to be grounded, and at the same time on how to be bosses. It's something that you can learn from your peers. So feminism being in totality, women finding their rights, I think it's a great way of us introducing to other women who feel like they're less seen, to be able to come up and be seen.
But are we doing that? Let's just see on a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10 is 5.
5. So we need to do better. So while we're fighting for feminism, and this year's theme is all about breaking the bias, I feel it's very important for us to continue to spread a really strong message amongst our peers, women in general, because we can't really point too many fingers to the exterior if we're not doing more for ourselves within our tribe. All right, guys, we will be right back because this conversation is just getting started. It's all about the women this month, International Women's Month. And this month we are breaking the bias on all ways, so many ways to break the bias. But today's conversation is all about feminism, and in our upcoming segment we're going to talk about misconceptions. What are some misconceptions that you've had about feminism? We're going to be breaking the myth. We're going to be breaking all of the, I don't know what stories we're telling ourselves. But we'll be right back after these messages.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Ohikosola Jinaru. I'm a beauty professional, med spa operator, franchise owner, and director of education at HD Pro Global Beauty Institute and Body Med Spa. As a mother of 3 boys and immigrant business owner, it is important for me to have a steady and sustainable source of income that transcends economic, government, or public health uncertainties and instability like the global pandemic we are still recovering from. That is why HD Pro Global has created multiple systems that allows my team and I to train, educate, certify, and establish independent med spa operators like us all over the globe. For more information, check out our website to attend a free webinar to get started on your path to continuous success, no matter what is going on in your part of the world. I cannot wait to meet you. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. So I hope you guys have been enjoying our conversation so far. Again, it's International Women's Month, and this month we are breaking the bias on all levels in every area that we can possibly think about. And we are doing our part by having these conversations within ourselves to see how we as women can contribute not just to a movement of feminism, but to contribute to making things good for everyone. So in this segment, we're going to be talking about so many misconceptions on both sides of the aisle. Men have misconceptions about feminism, and I believe a lot of our women have misconceptions about what feminism truly is. So let's start with our women, because charity, they say, begins at home. So some women believe feminism means they are now bosses, which is okay. They are now able to do what they want. Yes, it's okay. They are able to make an ask and make a demand on society for what they want. All of that is good. But what it is not, and let's talk about it, sisters, let's be real. What it is not is, first I'll go. You're a feminist, but does it mean that you cannot take care of your home? You can't cook, you can't clean, you can't do the basic things that your family needs you to do as a female?
No.
What do you think?
You have to.
You have to. I don't even know where people get that thing from. Feminist movement means I can't do all of the things like, oh, I'm not your maid. And I hear a lot of women say that a lot, like, taking care of your family does not make you a maid. It just makes you a responsible human being. Like I tell people, I'm like, you see Dr. O, when you see her at home, she's a mom, she's a chef, she's a laundry person, she sweeps the floor, she does all of those things. But I'm still as feminist as I could possibly be. Another misconception is when we talk about relationships and women, you know, we fight really hard this subject of when they hear that S word, submission, the claws come out and they start fighting. Like, ladies, calm down. Submission is not a bad thing. I mean, Nancy, what do you think?
I think that submission is a way of a woman being able to submit to a vision. When a woman submits to a vision, you submit to something that is aligning to what you want to do.
There you go. I love that. I love that. I love Nancy's definition. Submitting to a vision. And I tell even my men friends, I say, look, when a woman finds a vision, a leader, someone who they can believe and trust, that submission word is not even going to come up.
No.
It automatically just falls into alignment with what we do. And for the women who find it really hard to submit in their relationships, and now you're having this power tussle, and you're constantly saying, power to the women, I have equal rights, you know, it's 50-50 or whatever you guys talk about. It's really about finding your position, because I feel a lot of women, in their bid for feminism, they lose their femininity. they now take on that masculine role, which we're not really made to be. We are women, and we're made to be some type of way. Now, if you move against the grain and you start acting in a manner that God did not intend for you to behave, yes, we can ask for certain rights in society, which I believe is very okay. However, when it comes to the roles that we're supposed to play in our relationships, in our families and things like that, we still have to do things a certain way. Like the standards have not changed.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. It's still traditional. It's the man and the woman. And now I think it's now up to the women to now find men who are worthy of being submitted to.
I think that's the way to go, yeah.
Because if you're with a guy who is not a leader, who does not have a vision for you to buy into, who is not directing your life the way, of course you're going to have a problem with it. So in order for us to avoid all of this tussle that we keep talking about, feminism does not mean no submission. You just have to figure out the right person with the right vision to submit to. All right, what are some misconceptions about feminism that you've heard about?
Most men feel like women who are feminists cannot be married because they're too, controlling, I think.
Wait, controlling?
That's what I hear.
I hear that too, like I hear that a lot. But since when did having a lot of achievements and just having a drive and having a passion to be more mean? Because you're actually taking control of your life.
Exactly.
And I've heard it say that when you want to lead other people, you have to first of all learn to lead yourself.
Exactly.
So if you're going to be with a woman who is actually leading her life in the right direction, why would you want no one to jump on that train and partner with her so they feel like we are controlling? Well, I don't know, why do men assume that just because you're a feminist and you're owning your power and you're standing in that position very well, does it mean that you're trying to control them?
I guess that will be a good question for a man.
Okay, so we have to have some men in this episode this month. Okay, so we're going to bring some men into the conversation. Maybe we need to have a live after this episode so we can bring some men into the conversation to ask these questions, because I feel it's about time for us to kind of do away with the nonsense. And really, a lot of men miss out on very amazing, powerful women that can be extremely valuable to them just because they are threatened by this thing of control and power and I don't know. Anyway, what other misconceptions do we have?
Women taking it to the extreme and, becoming a little bit off of what we intend to do.
No, it's true. Women, it's true. We can be very, very off with this feminist thing. So, I hear you, and I think we need to do better. But how can we help our women do better? Because sometimes I feel like a lot of women are not even aware that they are being in that very extreme place, whereby all of a sudden, because of feminist rights. Oh, so have you heard this one where people talk about feminists do not get married?
Yes.
Or they hate men, like feminists hate men.
Yeah, feminists hate men. They don't need men.
That they don't need men. Except their sexual orientation is different. Yeah. I don't think that's not true, guys.
That's not true.
That's not true. Just because you're a feminist does not mean we hate men. Yes, I'm a feminist, but I do love my men. Like men, I just feel like it's the other half of the puzzle. Without that other half, the story is not complete.
Sure.
So feminism does not mean those women hate men. They just have very strong belief systems that we just want to be respected on, and we want to be heard. I think everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be seen. It's part of our basic human rights or basic human needs now. So it doesn't mean that there's certain things that we're willing to do away with just because we subscribe to some type of, I don't know, is it a movement?
They call it a movement. Yeah, it is a movement.
It is a movement, yes. The feminist movement is real.
Yeah.
But even though we have the feminist movement, there's still a lot of bias going on. I mean, you are in an industry that is male-dominated.
Yeah.
How do you cope?
That is one of the hardest things ever. And sometimes, I was even talking to other female drivers the other day, and they were telling me that anytime they walk into a truck stop, all male are like
turning
around and looking like, what are you doing here? Like that's the impression. Still till today. That's the impression I had when I was driving at 23, and everybody was looking at me like, you're a young female coming out of a truck. Like it even gets embarrassing to somebody. Like everybody's looking at you. What did I do? You
Yeah.
feel like you're in the wrong place. But being in an industry that is male dominated does not mean anything really to me at this point in my life. I don't feel pressure. I don't feel pressure because it's more so the mental capability, not the physical capability. So if my mental capability can reach whatever I'm intending to do, that's what we are fighting for as feminists. But then people thinking that we are fighting for it as for the physical.
For the physical,
you know,
yes.
whatever my physical body can do, my mental body cannot do. And my mental body and my physical body, they're two totally different people.
It just comes in this package, and we can't help it.
It comes in this package, and I'm a woman. I can't help it. I have the brain for it, but I don't have the body for it.
I keep telling people, like, when people come to me and they start talking about certain things, I said, you know what? Let's leave that conversation aside. Let's focus on these first.
On this,
because when you come to me, even when it comes to business discussions, relationship discussions, if you're not able to connect with me up here, you lose me because I'm like, I don't know. What
it's
else?
a mental thing.
What else are we going to talk about if all you're focused on is this?
Exactly.
You know, I think that's part of the feminist thing where a lot of women get turned off because, yes, they have the package that is extremely attractive, but they really want to be identified, understood, heard, and seen up here, and the heart that they have.
Exactly.
Oh, my dear.
That's a good word. It's more so mental. Like, let us agree, let us talk. Don't look at my physical body. Let us agree, let us talk from here.
And that part plays its role, trust me. And, you know, one thing I've heard a lot of my strong women talk about is, you know, like someone is like, oh my God, you appear so hard and stuff. But once they get to know you, they're like, oh, you're such a softie. Yes, I'm still a female. I'm still a female. I still have certain needs. I'm still that person that I still want to be taken care of. I want to be catered to. I want someone to just take care of me and do all those things. So does it mean, okay, I think that's the last one. So as a feminist, some of the misconception is they assume that because you're a feminist, you want to take care of yourself. You don't need someone else to take care of you.
That's wrong. That's the weird misconception I've ever heard. Like just the totality of a woman. You know how we always say about submission, about this, about that, right? Women were given that opportunity to be loved, to be nurtured, to be taken care of. So as much as the other opposition is fighting for the submission, they have to remember the love and the taking care of and the nurturing of a woman comes first. And the moment the woman feels that nurturing, they feel that love, it's easy for them to walk into the path of submission easily.
Exactly.
So when they feel like a woman who's a feminist does not require love or does not require care or nurturing, you're missing out.
You're missing out.
You're missing out because this is a soft creation on a feminine type, and then they have the mental capability to hold like men can hold, like other women can hold.
Yes.
So take care of the physical nature of this particular human being as a female, and at the same time remember they have the mental capability to do the things that they can do.
Exactly. But one thing, oh my God, one thing that gets me, and this is on a personal note, y'all. I am so sick of people telling me, you are so strong.
Oh, yeah, me, I don't like that too.
So guys, listen, to every strong woman out there, yes, we are strong. But guess what? We are strong because we have found that in order for us to become the people we want to be, to build the lives that we want, we have to be strong. But does that mean that all of a sudden everything you say, you're so strong, do it on your own. Or you're so strong, you're not going to check in and say, for example, if you're in a relationship, you know, someone, you know, assumes that you're strong, so they don't need to check in on you.
They don't even check on you.
They don't need to offer to help you. You know, offer that, you know, I'm like, how do you feel it's okay?
You feel like it's okay?
But I see other females though.
Yeah.
And those females are not like us.
Yeah.
They are the other kinds of females. And you see all these people, the men doting over them, doing everything for them, and I'm like, I want that too. Guys, that's a misconception. Look, just because we're feminists and we're strong, we want you to take care of us.
Oh, yeah.
We want you to offer. Because a feminist and a strong woman,
they don't ask.
We will not ask. It's not in our nature. But just because we don't ask does
Doesn't
not mean you should not offer.
Yeah.
We really want you to offer to be there for us, to offer to pay the bills. Offer. We want, yes, even though we have the capacity to do it, offer to do it with us.
True.
We're not saying do it for us, but do it with us. It really makes it better, because I'm like, that's why a lot of times I just keep discounting relation, because when I go a certain distance with you and I keep watching and looking and waiting for you
Yeah.
to act a certain way, do certain things, step up to certain things,
yeah.
and you're not, I'm like, why am I here with you? This is a waste of my time.
This I can do. You know, you're like,
this is a waste of my time.
Exactly. And it makes us look unattractive because
Yes.
you're this kind of a person that sees what you want and you want to go for what you
Exactly.
want. And they look at you like,
she's too picky.
she's too picky, you're too, that's where the controlling part of it comes in.
But it's not right, because I still feel like a lot of feminists are extremely traditional. That's another misconception. You know, that's one thing you guys are going to... A lot of feminist women, powerful women, we are still extremely traditional. We still want the men to come and ask us out. We still want them to pay our way. You know, I can afford it, but pay my way.
Yeah.
Do what a man is supposed to do. Just assume that role. And I feel like, I know for a fact that it actually allows you to score high points with a very strong, powerful woman. When you come to the table presenting a lot, bringing a lot to the table, it makes you more attractive to us. And I feel a lot of men assume that we discount them easily, because, I mean, at the end of the day, how am I going to take you seriously when you just come at me and... I mean, I know we don't want to flog this issue, but really it's personal for me. I'm just like, I'm so sick of this. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it today.
Yeah.
So, y'all, all of these misconceptions about feminism and femininity, and I feel those are two different things, guys. Feminism is a movement. Femininity is who a woman is. She's not, just because she belongs to a movement does not mean she is relinquishing her femininity. She still carries that within her. But for some reason, because of the roles that she has to play, a lot of women play masculine roles. We're head of households. We're taking care of kids on our own. We're building businesses on our own. So sometimes it requires for us to step into that role. But it doesn't mean that we have completely lost our femininity.
True.
But how do women find this balance? So kind of let's end it here. How do we help our sisters who are in this alpha female role? How do we help them maintain this balance? So when they get into a situation of a relationship and they start dealing with the men folk, they don't come across as intimidating to them. What are some things that you feel we can do?
Honestly, that is a struggle that we are dealing with in this era. Like, honestly, women taking up a lot of responsibilities in the families, and the thing is, the first thing I think we need to really do is to talk about these issues with our counterpart, or the opposite.
Our females.
Yeah. So we talk about it, and kind of, you know, it is still a struggle for most of us. It is to me as well. So at this point, it's something that I have decided to really re-study on. I'm really studying on it.
I love that you said that, because one of the things I advocate for in everything is education. Do you know that I actually started to educate myself intentionally? Like, I set my intention to learn about relationships, about men, about how to kind of interact with them.
Yeah.
And I haven't still figured it out.
Exactly.
After my divorce. It was after I got divorced that I realized I needed to learn these skills. Like, I didn't have
You don't have the skills. Like, you just agree you don't have the skills.
I did not have the skills. I had to admit to myself that I'm just, yes, I'm feminine, I'm pretty, I'm attractive, I'm a lot of things, but when it comes to me being able to navigate a relationship successfully, I didn't have the skills.
Yeah.
I needed to not only understand myself as a female, but I also needed to understand the men as well.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like a lot of us can start from that place of just being humble. To say, I don't know these things. A lot of powerful women will never tell you they don't know how to date.
True.
It's true.
True.
A lot of powerful women, we do not know how to date.
True.
And there's certain things that a man will see when he comes to ask you out, and you'll be like, no. And I found out that a lot of men, they're not just intimidated. Of course, some of them, a lot of them are intimidated by your success and your accomplishments. But for the most part, we just don't know how to date.
Yeah.
So these men, we're scaring them off, and we're wondering, like, why are they
getting scared?
Why are they running off? Well, we don't know how to date. And I feel like we need to just be humble and invest in education.
that's the way to go, because growing up personally, I didn't have a mother who was right there with me to teach me things, and I didn't grow up with a father to see how men are treated in the home.
Oh, wow.
So some of these things can really be a tough situation to be in.
Yes.
How are you gonna act out a part that you don't have no skills in?
Nobody has shown it to
Nobody
you.
has ever shown it to you. You've never seen it in your life growing up. So getting into relationships with people from my end, I'll say honestly, is the toughest thing to do. So nowadays I listen to audiobooks. I read books about relationships.
Yes.
I'm trying my very, even parenting.
Oh.
I never saw a good family situation. So a lot of things I've had to improve on myself personally, like learn and educate myself on these things personally. So studying and educating yourself, that is really, really a way to go.
Oh, my darling, I'm so sorry to hear that. But you know, ironically, on the flip side, I grew up in a family. My mom and my dad were together the whole time. They're still together.
Wow.
But you know, the system of our African traditions, the culture,
Yeah.
I realized growing up, I'm like, I don't want that.
I don't want this.
Yeah, y'all got your thing going on, and that worked well for you guys, but I don't want that for myself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know which is worse. You had it, and you didn't have it. I had it, and I don't want it. Like, I'm like, Jesus, help us. But really, guys, at the end of the day, you know, like I tell my kids all the time, it's not who people call you. It's who you answer to. Yes, feminism is a movement, and it was intended to put us in the right path. But at the end of the day, ladies, we need to be able to be fully responsible for this movement. In order to get the impact that we want from society, we need to start breaking that bias within our ranks, within our tribe, within our women folk. We need to be able to pull together more. Less competition, more collaboration, less, like, let me just say, just criticizing, more support.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to really help make the feminist movement work, because when the men and the other people out there look at the feminist movement and they actually dive deep into our interrelationships, they see that even the women are not as coordinated amongst themselves.
True.
Because you see men doing business together.
Yeah.
You see them, they get angry, they fight, and next is that when it comes to making money, it's like they're sitting there, it's like, look, I'm not gonna mess with my money, you're not gonna mess with my money. Like, but when it's women, it's like,
it's over with.
If I fight you, I fight you. Forget money. Nothing else is coming into this
Yeah,
relationship.
nothing else. Yeah.
You know, so women, we need to do better. We need to help ourselves, each one teach one, do better, so that way this feminist movement, breaking the bias in the month of March for 2022, has to start from us. We need to break the biases within us so that we can teach other people how to break those biases against us as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been such a wonderful episode, y'all. I'm so excited, guys. Happy International Women's Month.
Happy
Guys,
International Women's Month to you all.
what are some final words that you have for our audience, Nancy?
For me, I'll really say that let's embrace who we are. Let's embrace who we are as women. Let's learn, like be learners every single time. Let us be supportive. Let us adore just the nature of a woman, because a woman, you're a mother, you're a sister, you're everybody. You're everybody to everybody. Like, let's love one another so dearly. Let's embrace one another so dearly. Let's learn to accept ourselves. Let's learn to accept ourselves for who we are. You have skinny legs, you have fat legs, you have whatever you have, your assets that you come with. You know, love to appreciate yourself and embrace yourself to the top notch. So that once you do that, you're able to emit the same to other people. If you don't love yourself and adore yourself and embrace who you are, it's going to be very hard for you to love others. So for you to be able to love others and share love and be able to support other people, first do it to you. The things you want her to do for you, do it for yourself first.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness, guys. She said it all, y'all. Like I'm going to say what she said. Okay. All right, guys. See you next time, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on, like and comment on this video, and let us know what you think. But most importantly, don't forget, subscribe, because you always want to be in the know whenever we drop our videos every week. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Dr. Oyinka Solajinadu with Dr. OJ Speaks. Thank you, guys. Bye.